Hi everyone, it's me again. To make up for my long absence, I thought I'd put up another video today to help get me back into the swing of it and get used to doing the YouTube videos. As I have to admit, I'm very used to doing the TikTok videos, which are a lot easier and a lot quicker to post than the YouTube. But here I am again. This video today is another recent one in the last 2 weeks maybe. It's not a particularly spectacular game. It is on a map that I dislike as Hag. It's the family residence from the Yamoka estate. I don't mind the Sanctum too much, but the family residence one I find is very large and can be difficult to control sometimes if the survivors know what they're doing. But this one is a fairly chill game. I don't think it was a Swift. The game lasts for quite a while, but there's just a few little things in it that I wanted to touch on when playing Hag, especially if you're going to be using the type of builds that I use, and some little tricks that you can do. So before we get into the actual game footage, I'd just like to thank you if you're returning again. If you're new here, it would mean so much to me if you could subscribe, like the video, share the video, maybe comment. All these little things do help my channel more than you can know, so please, if you enjoy the content, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and maybe even a cheeky little comment. I will reply to you. I do try to reply to everybody. And also, if you're not already on my TikTok, I know most of you are here from TikTok, but if you found me in some other way, if you'd like to go over to my TikTok, there is lots and lots of videos on there of me playing Hag, Survivor, some other killers as well. Lots of different clips, lots of memes, just lots and lots of stuff for you to go through. If you'd like to go over, it's Scream4918 on TikTok. Picture of Hag as my profile picture, so you should be able to find me quite easily. And with that out of the way, I guess we're going to let the footage roll. I think this is quite a long game. Sometimes you'll get games where you have to be quick. The survivors are very quick, the gens are popping quickly. You have to take countermeasures to be able to win. Other games are quite chill, and you can tell early on that it's not going to be one of those games. It's going to be a game where you can take more time. You can take more time on your chases. You don't have to watch the gens as much. Take more time placing your traps and things like that. And I would say that this game falls into the second category. Not that they were bad. They weren't bad survivors. They were just, I don't think they were a team, and it's one of those games where you have the opportunity to not rush and to plan out what you're going to do. You take more time with your traps and such, and this was one of those games. So I will be commenting on the clip like I usually do, and as always, I shall see you on the other side. So as you can see, I didn't start here at the very beginning, as it's just me placing a few traps. We head straight in and we find Kate straight away. Unfortunately for Kate, she runs the way that I came from, which you don't really want to do if you know you're facing a Hag. You want to go away from the way that she came from, because she's most likely going to have traps there, and as Kate found out. Now, unluckily for Kate's team, Kate isn't actually wiggling here, which is why you see me carrying her so far. And as I know a gen was done there, I'm heading in that direction, and we come across all of them. This is a little thing you can do if you're running Starstruck. If they don't wiggle, carry them as far as you can. You have more chance of hitting someone. As you see there, we get the Quinton. Had Kate wiggled, I probably wouldn't have got this down. So to all you survivors out there who think it's no good wiggling, you really should wiggle. It prevents the killer from getting you to a hook that they, like if they've got Scourge Hook, Pain Res, and putting you where they want you to be, which can be dangerous to some killers. So always wiggle to prevent them getting you as far as I got that Kate. Now, as we hit Quinton and we got the down, I don't pick up because I know there's a good chance that other people are Starstruck. They were all in the same area. I know that this Meg is. So we create more pressure here by going for the Meg as well. They got the unhook on Kate. Now this Meg is heading deep into an area where I don't have any traps. Starstruck obviously run out. The little tip with Starstruck, you'll know when it's run out. When the red starts going around the perk, you've got until it gets halfway to the bottom of the perk. Once it hits there, the person who was hit with it will not be Starstruck anymore. But again, we get the Kate anyway, the Meg, sorry. And we hook her and Starstruck is active again. So now we're just going to go around placing traps. Here we find David, who's trying to get rid of the trap, but he couldn't do it in time, and then he ends up setting it off, and of course he was starstruck because of the Meg, so we get another down, we place our trap back. We know there was another one here as well. If the David was starstruck, then it's most likely that the Quentin is too. As you can see, my starstruck there is about to run out, so now even if I found the Quentin, it'd be too late. He'd be recovered from the effects of starstruck. We leave Meg there. We try not to deliberately tunnel, but Meg hits trap. So I don't class this as tunneling. If you're running, if you know you're facing a hag and you're running, you should be careful where you're running because you could hit a trap. And unfortunately that's what happened to Meg. Now we're back over here to David, who's been picked up, or he picked himself up, I think. And Kate, who's appeared, who has been AFK all this time. So not only did she screw her team over at the beginning when she didn't wiggle and everybody got starstruck, she then went AFK and DC's on her second down. So now I know I don't need to go so hard in this match. They've only done one gen. We have a bot player as well. Not to say that the bots aren't good. I have actually seen some pretty good bots. That trap that we placed there at Shaq when we hooked the Kate there, caught Quentin off guard. We always replace it because Shaq is a place that they're going to run. Traps placed around the map, catching David out as well. We replace again because I know I have the time to. I mean, this map can be good for the traps. As you see, there's quite a lot of grass. You can hide around rocks and things so that they can't see. I noticed that a lot of good survivors, when they're playing hag, will be looking at the floor. They'll be looking in front of them the way they go into pallets and such to see if there's any traps so they can divert beforehand. And Quentin again went back. He assumed that the trap hadn't been reset, but I do reset. And we get our next down. I believe this is Quentin's first hook because we left him slug the first time. They got the Meg, they've healed up. And I think they got the Kate even, and they've all healed up. So now we're just going to go back to placing traps in areas. The more you play hag, the more you'll start to notice that the majority of survivors tend to run the same paths. On certain maps, you'll get very good on certain maps knowing the routes that they're going to take. And this is where I tend to focus my traps. I also take note of where survivors are running in the game that I'm actually playing. So although there may be common travel areas, there'll be other areas that different survivors will play differently. So I take note of, are they running the common routes? Are they doing unusual stuff? Obviously tiles like this are very good places to put your traps. That's David's first up as well. They've managed to get a gen done, but it's still fine. I'm not panicking too much yet. I find this trap here at the back of this pagoda building structure thing can be quite useful. They run that way a lot. And then just a few dotted around the middle. Here again, we ignore the David. We know he's there, but we're trying not to tunnel. David hits trap just like the Meg did. So we give him his borrowed time hit and off he runs. We let him go. We go back for the Quentin, who we know is still down in this corner. That's not to say that I won't tunnel. Sometimes I will. It does depend on what the game calls for, but I will try not to actively tunnel somebody out if I can help it. So we get the Quentin. Our Starstruck, as you see there, is just about to come back. And believe it or not, that's the Meg, I believe, who's over in this corner, who's probably going to regret coming in for that flashlight save because she was close enough for Starstruck. And here's David, still running. We don't want David, so we go back because we know that she's over here. We also know, as you can see, the timer isn't halfway on the perk yet, so we know she's still going to be Starstruck. We can see you in that bush, Meg. So that was just literally the last second on the Starstruck there. Again, she's not wiggling, so I'm carrying her further, although it doesn't really matter because the only one who's not injured is the Kate. It matters here. David gets hit, he has to go and mend now. Quentin gets hit, he needs to heal now. So really, guys, struggle. If the killer's trying to carry you, he's carrying you around a lot, struggle to prevent things like this. I believe she starts wiggling now, but as you can see, I've carried her literally across the map. Because she didn't wiggle, David now has to go and mend. Quentin was stuck in the chase, he couldn't be doing anything, so the only one who's actually free to do anything was the bot. So now we're back on the Quentin again. So now we're down to 2 people with 3 gens. Traps being set off are giving me information on where I need to go next. We place this here as we know he's waiting at the pallet. So if he's smart, he won't. He'll go through the cutout. If he's not, he's going to run back the way I came. This is a nice dead hard there. And we only have 1 player left, and it's a bot. So I just decided to hook the David and hopefully come across the bot, which I do. And this surprised me here. The bot is actually clicking me and trying to blind me around rocks, which I find very amusing. And she got some good distance there. Again, we know she's going to run this structure here because of the pallet, so we trap. Then we push her around the other way, hoping that she'll hit the trap, which she does. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope there was something useful in it that you can learn from or add to your own builds. Especially the Starstruck, which you don't see often on Hag, but I find is a very useful perk on her. Especially when you pair it with the agitation. The agitation increases the terror radius from 24 meters to 36. And also increases how long you can carry for. So if you're in a dead zone or something like that, you can just get them a little bit further to that next hook, and you never know, you'll probably hit somebody with the Starstruck. You may not get it down from it, but hitting somebody with it slows the game, as they're not going to be rushing to get on gens. They're going to be careful where they're stepping because of the traps, and they're going to try and wait out the Starstruck. So you can get a lot of value in that way, even if you don't get the down from it. So give it a try, let me know what you think. Any questions, comments, opinions, please leave them below, and I shall see you all next time. Bye guys.